In my new apartment, I have an extra closet, so I wrap the walls with an emergency blanket to reflect both heat and light. I bought this 5-gallon bucket deep water culture hydroponic setup, although in the future I'll expand it by making my own setup to reduce costs. It came with everything other than the seeds, water quality testers, and the water-soluble nutrients for the nutrient solution. The bucket setup required assembly, but no tools were required. I carefully mixed the nutrient solution for each bucket based off the needs of each specific plant I plan to grow in each bucket. For the sweet basil and the Albion strawberries, I transplanted the basil from soil and bought bare root plants for the strawberries. On the far right, I have sweet baby watermelon seeds germinating and Parisian carrots in early stages. I had everything assembled and started transplanting on the 19th of August, so we're just over a month of growth for the strawberries, and the basil was just a few days later. 2 weeks ago, I took a few cuttings from a dwarf cherry tomato plant that was growing in soil. Put them in a cup of water to start growing the water roots, which started growing faster than most plants I've seen. And then a few days before filming the second video, I put the smaller cutting in the middle of the basil bucket as they have similar nutrient requirements and pH preference. The larger cutting I put in a recycled orange juice container after killing off an infestation of spider mites that killed all the lower leaves, but has fresh growth that's looking pretty good. I bought 2 kits from a company called Back to the Roots, which sells glass gallon jugs that come with everything needed to start the plant. I purchased 1 cherry tomato and 1 chili pepper jug, which are growing well, and all of the seeds have germinated and will now require thinning. On the bucket on the right, I have a soil transplanted kale that came with caterpillars, which I have since eradicated and now is growing strong again. In the plastic tray, I have a bare roots peony plant. Up above the light in the hanger pole, I have 2 Blue Lake bush bean plants growing strong, which will require thinning. These are able to grow with light reflected from the emergency space blankets. This project is still an experimental phase, as I plan to layer the upper walls with reflective material, get more plants to fit in the floor, make a box that'll muffle the sound of the air pump. I'm also considering getting weak light to go on top so I can use the whole shelf to grow plants on the top shelf that prefer high heat. It's been between 70 and 75 degrees in the main area on the bottom, and it's been up to 80 on the top. The grow light is LED, but it still makes some amount of heat. Hydroponics will use less space, especially with setups that stack vertically. Can use up to 1/10 of the water required compared to soil gardening. My indoor gardening setup means that there's no weeding and less pests.